ask you, will all of you please help me tell my story? No. Can I hear a little louder? Thank you. Well, all of my favorite stories begin with once upon a time. Let's say it together. Once upon a time. Very good. In a faraway kingdom, there lived a kind king and a beautiful queen. And for many years, they wished for a child. Well, finally, their wish was granted, and I was born. They named me Aurora after the dawn, for I filled their lives with sunshine. Then a great holiday was proclaimed throughout the kingdom, so that all could celebrate my birth. And that's when my 3 good fairies arrived. Do you all remember my 3 good fairies? Good. Let's see if we can remember their favorite colors. My first fairy, her name is Flora. And what's her favorite color? It's pink, that's right. And she said, each blessed child may bless with a single gift, no more and no less. And she took out her magic wand. Can you all take out your magic wands for me? She put high above her cradle, and she said, sweet princess, my gift shall be the gift of beauty. It was a very kind gift. Then my second fairy, her name is Fauna. And what's her favorite color? That's right, it's green. And she took out her magic wand. Can you all take out your magic wands for me again? She wove it high above her cradle, and she said, tiny princess, my gift shall be the gift of song. Another very kind gift. Then my third fairy, well, her name is Merryweather. And what's her favorite color? What's her favorite color? That's right. And she took out her magic wand. Take out your magic wands. And she wove it high above her cradle, and she said, little princess, my gift shall be. But before she could finish, a large gust of wind blew through the palace doors. There was thunder and lightning, and then someone very scary appeared in the room. Do any of you remember who it was? What was her name? That's right, it was Maleficent. And she said, listen well, all of you. The child shall indeed grow in grace and beauty, beloved by all who know her. But before the sun sets on her 16th birthday, she'll prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel, and oh well, I just can't sing the rest, it's just too terrible. But thankfully, Merryweather still had her gift to give, and she took her magic wand. Can you all take out your magic wands for me again? And she wove it high above my cradle, and said, from the slumber you shall awake, with true love's kiss the spell shall break, for true love conquers all. Well, that day, my father decreed that every spinning wheel in the kingdom be burned. That way Maleficent's curse could never come true. But the good fairies knew Maleficent could still cause trouble, so they decided to give up their wands and live without magic until the day I turned 16. And they took me to live in a cottage in the woods. And they gave me a new name so no one would know I was really a princess. Do any of you remember what name they gave me? That's right, Fire Rose. And then finally, the day of my 16th birthday came, and the fairies wanted to give me a surprise. So they sent me out into the woods to go pick some berries. Well, I knew those 3 deers were up to something, right? Berries yesterday. But off I went, and they began to work. Well, I decided to go for a walk in the woods. And I had always dreamed of meeting someone special. But I told my forest friends I had met someone. He's tall and handsome and so romantic. We walk together and talk together, and just before we say goodbye, he takes me into his arms, and then I wake up. Yes, it's only in my dreams, but they say if you dream a thing more than once, it's sure to come true, and I've seen him so many times. But that's when something magical happened. My dream prince appeared, and we danced through the forest together. But then I remembered that my aunts would be wondering where I was. So I told my handsome man to meet me at the cottage later that evening, and I rushed on home. Well, back at the cottage, there was a battle of color going on. You see, Flora had made me a beautiful gown in her favorite color, which was pink, that's right. Well then, feisty Merryweather, she took out her wand, and she changed it to her favorite color, which was blue. So everyone take out your magic wands, because we have to change it back to pink. And say with me, blue. And then pink and blue and pink and blue and pink and blue. And oh my goodness, it was such a about the handsome man I had met. Well, they could see that I was in love, so they told me the truth. That was really Princess Aurora, and that I was already promised to Prince Philip, and that I could never see my handsome young man again. Oh, I was so sad. I cried and I cried. But the fairies did as they had promised, and they took me back to the castle, where they gave me one last gift as a symbol of my royalty. Do any of you remember what it was? That's right, they gave me my crown. But I was still so sad, so the fairies left me alone for a little while. And that's when something very strange happened. I saw a great spinning ball of light, and they beckoned to me, and they told me to follow it. And so I did, and it told me to touch the spindle. And I fell into a deep sleep. Well, the fairies, they didn't know what to do, until they learned that Prince Philip was actually the handsome young man from the forest. Well, as quick as they could, they rushed to where Maleficent had captured him, and they set him free, and they gave him two gifts, the enchanted shield of virtue and the mighty sword of truth, so he could battle the evil Maleficent, who's now more terrifying than ever, for she had transformed herself into a fire-breathing what? A dragon, that's right! Oh, but Philip was courageous, and with mighty aim, he put an end to Maleficent and all her evil. Then he rushed back to the castle where I was asleep,